Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? It is what, Wednesday, June 10th, and this is your daily financial news. First off, I think it's time to kind of acknowledge Gary Vee and Nipsey Hussle again, who were inspiration for these daily financial news events that now have been going on for almost 200 days. So thanks, guys, for doing that. These now are being watched on average over 500 times a day. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Sounds like these have become, for a good portion of you, daily viewing material. So really, really appreciate that. I want to test something. If you are watching these and consistently do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button right now. That would be greatly appreciated. And then let's leave some comments, even if it's just hi or whatever. I'm going to try to see if Graham Stephan is right. If we up the thumbs and the interactions, if these videos get even more attention, because I do create them and I really do try to help everybody every day. So if you're watching and you watch these rigorously, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. Let's see if Graham's right, and let's try to get involved with the YouTube algorithm. And as a thank you, something I want to do for you this weekend, 8 a.m. Pacific, is I am going to hold another YouTube live session. I'm going to do the financial news at 7:30, which is about the time I do it every day. And then what I will do is shut that down, probably get another cup of coffee, and then I will come back at around 8 a.m. and do a live session just answering your questions. So I will likely riff for a little bit as people join, and then we will go ahead and start asking and answering questions. If you want to get ahead and you want me to ask or answer your questions, leave a comment in this video or your question so that I come prepared. I'd much rather start a live stream answering 5, 6, 10 questions that are pre-done, so I don't have to just riff for 5 minutes while I wait for folks to join. So if you're going to be there, awesome. Again, 8 a.m. live after the financial news Saturday. This is Pacific time. If you want me to start with your questions, leave the questions below once this video posts, and I will do my best to answer them. So that's what I have for you. Again, thumbs up from you, and then I will do a live session 8 a.m. Saturday morning as a thank you. So first and foremost, a lot of stuff going on between institutional investors and retail investors, right? Looks like Robinhood users are now doing YOLO, kind of you only live once, as opposed to FOMO, fear of missing out. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I found an interesting chart. The top 5 stocks from institutional buyers and retail buyers. And I thought I would go through the list because it kind of tells you what each side is doing. So first and foremost, the institutional side, the top 5 stocks are Visa, Adobe, MasterCard, Alphabet, PayPal. So when I look at that list, there's really 3 payment processing companies, Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal, basically talking about, again, more transactions expected, right? We went through a trough in April. April will go down as a month we talk about for the next 5 decades, right? Worst on record, blah, blah, blah. But what they're clearly saying is Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal is they're expecting that to be the trough, and we're going to have better months going forward. Interesting. Retail investors, Ford, GE, American Airlines, Delta, Disney. Different. First and foremost, a lot of these are really consumer stocks, right? Ford, cars, American Airlines, travel, Delta, travel, Disney, entertainment. It's just interesting to see what either side is doing. So one is clearly betting on the consumers, right? And sort of being less afraid, right? Travel, right? You're not going to get on a plane unless you are less afraid. Or what you have on the retail side is, you know what? This is overdone, fake news. We're going to go buy some cheap stocks, right? I'm afraid certainly 4 of those I would have called cheap stocks, meaning they were under $10. Actually, I don't know if Delta ever got under 10. but the other three did. And Disney, I don't think, obviously, I don't really consider Disney a cheap stock, but it was certainly hammered. Uh, so it was cheap by Disney's standards. So again, it's just interesting what the institution side is saying versus the retail side. So we will see what works. Next up, looks like Starbucks had some news today. They're talking about the health crisis caused a $3.2 billion loss of revenue. So it is interesting. Same store sales fell 43%. Starbucks same store sales fell 43%. That our GDP print for Q2 is going to be ugly, ugly. Consumer prices, third month in a row, we've had a deflationary trend. I've been talking about this for a while now. We are going to have at least some short-term deflation in the environment. It substantially less deflation last month. So April was 0.8% for a month. And in May, it was 0.1. But again, the deflation trend continues. We're already starting to see, at least in my area, gas prices go up and things of that nature. So I do not think deflation will be with us through the year. It will certainly, it'll be with us obviously in Q2. I don't think there's any question, which is the quarter we're in. I think there will be some deflation in some items, clothing, for example, in Q3, I think is going to have a pretty substantial deflation. Computers, probably some deflation. So I do not think it'll be a long term. I think inflation is far more obvious as time goes by, but I do think 2020 will be the kind of deflation. Mortgage demand. Wow. 6-7 weeks in a row. Mortgage demand up 5% last week, which I think is the same number from the week before. And it's 13% higher year on year. Now, yes, I understand a mortgage app is not a yes answer, but it at least tells you what's going on with the consumer. Remember, last year, this health thing was not even in the mirror, right? We weren't even really talking about a recession yet. And we're 13% higher. Stuff is happening in the real estate game. And I truly believe if you tie the little pieces together, you have Class A apartment tenants going, I had enough. Space is good. I'm going to go buy a first-time home. I'm going to go buy my first home. And you have the exodus from the cities. People are buying. Or at least people want to be buying. Again, though, we have an inventory problem, right? Inventory is still at a record low. And again, I think we're going to see new construction, especially at a price point based on the market, still take off. I'm still amazed. I think it was 3 weeks ago that new construction was up 1%. It was 0.82, as I remember, when they were expected to be down 22%. That's a huge miss. Right? And again, I think it's because we are seeing consumers change. I no longer want to pay for this Class A apartment with all the amenities that I never really use. I want a freaking backyard. That's what I think is happening. And the numbers are starting to bear it out. So pretty interesting. Tesla in the news again. Elon Musk is coming out saying time to get the semi-trucks going. Wants to see volume production of semi-trucks. And while he doesn't call it out, I wonder if he's sort of pointing at that company Nikola, which is almost 30 billion valuation. We've talked about twice now, I think, on this show, with no revenue. This is so .com again. It's not even funny. But again, if Tesla wants to take out Nikola, all he has to do is talk about some semi-trucks now and again and show a prototype. And I think Nikola will be attacked by short sellers, and it won't be a $30 billion valuation soon, but we shall see. JP Morgan has come out and had enough of these people running up airline stocks. They've said, folks, air travel's down 85%. And we got United and JetBlue being downgraded. There was just a comment brought in here, and yes, I've seen the articles about rich people leaving San Francisco and going elsewhere. I've been talking about that as a likely trend for 6 weeks, and it's happening. It's happened in New York first, at least that's where I saw the reports first. It's happening in San Francisco big time. San Francisco's rents are down 9% in a month. San Francisco is in trouble. California is in trouble. And it is only starting. It is going to get worse out here. So again, JP Morgan says that's enough running airline stocks. They downgraded United and JetBlue. AMC Theaters will probably be the next run pump and dump stock. We got AMC Theaters talking about reopening in July. They are going to limit capacity and block seats. I don't know about you. I love going to movies. That was something we did probably weekly. But we are going to see, I mean, I don't know. People really want to go run and go see a movie right now? I mean, I think I'd see a movie before I got in an airplane, sure. But I'm not sure I'm going to run out and watch some movies in a theater. But, you know, we'll see. But what I think is going to happen here is all these run and gun folks that are out there pumping up stocks are going to now do AMC, and we'll see AMC, you know, gain 100%, you know, in a day or so. And it's the stuff doesn't end well. Where is the SEC at this point? I saw an article or an interview actually of Ford's COO, I believe it was. Looks like they're going to be full production by July 6th. That surprised me. Also, I'm hearing that there's a low supply of new trucks out there, the Ford 150. So again, just the economy is opening, and this is good news for all of us. And Ford is coming out with a lot of new products this year. The all-electric Mustang Mach-E. I'm going to go check that car out just to see it. Another thing I want to talk about is just some simple math, because I'm starting to see what economists are calling Q2, Q3, and Q4, and people are, I don't think, understanding what it means. So let's just assume Q1's GDP was 100. You can call it 100 trillion, 100 billion, 100 million, whatever you want. Just, I'm using 100 because the math is easy. So let's say Q1 was 100. If Q2 is down 50%, that means we did 50, whatever you want, trillion, billion, million, whatever number makes you feel comfortable. Okay, worst on record, yada, yada, yada. Now Q3, best on record, 30% up. Oh, not bad, huh? Well, not really, because 50 goes to 65. Okay, that's what 30% of growth on 50 is. It goes to 65 trillion, billion, million, whatever you want. Okay, but wait. Now we're going to go up 20% in Q4. Not bad, right? Well, 65 goes to 78. We've had a 30% quarter and a 20% quarter, and we are at 78. That is a long way away from 100. People, statistics can kill you if you don't understand them. 50% drop from 100 goes to 50. 30% pop from 50 is 65. 20% pop from 65 is 78. Bad. We are still 22% below what would be Q1's GDP at 100 billion, trillion, whatever. Okay, that's enough. Yes, right direction, but not back to normal. Not back by a long shot. Grubhub and Uber looks like they may be discontinuing their talks, but it does look like Grubhub wants to sell itself. It looks like they may be entertaining some options from Europe to make up a worldwide food delivery engine, which would be interesting. I'm not sure what that means for Grubhub. Maybe its business is not as good as we think it is, or it's not as profitable as we think it is, but they clearly are in the mood to sell themselves. Simon Properties has terminated their agreement to buy Taubman. That purchase was an all-cash deal signed right at the beginning of this event. This is likely going to be a ugly legal fight. I've read articles over the last month where the contract was supposed to be airtight, but it looks like Simon Properties is going, forget it, we're out, we're not doing the deal, and sue me. So Taubman is going to sue them. Looks like Taubman's taking the biggest hit today. You know, they are down 26% today, or $12. Again, this is going to be a long legal fight. Lots of money is going to be spent on this fight by both sides. It looks like VRoom was a stock IPO yesterday, online car buying platform. Their stock doubled yesterday. The IPO window seems open. So it will, we'll see some more IPOs coming shortly. There's a couple more planned this week, as I understand it. But again, this IPO is popping 100%. Does that remind anybody that's been around to the .com era? Does to me. I did see an article that over this health crisis, about 50% of the American population saw some form of income hit, which just shocked me. Again, probably shouldn't have. We're a consumer-based economy, and we turned it off. So pretty important. Need to have that cash. You need to have that emergency reserve. You know, hopefully that is a lesson learned coming out of this, as we save more as an American population, but we will see. The Fed meeting ends today. There's supposed to be a release at 2 o'clock, and then an actual conference at 2:30. That's Eastern, I believe. So we will see how that goes. If there's any news, I'll come and do an afternoon session, but don't expect that. And then I just saw something that I was nervous when I saw it. I did not, let's just be clear, did not watch the whole video. But I just saw Meet Kevin do an interview talking about a stock. He spent $70,000. He bought 50 and then bought 20,000 more. And he was going through his analysis, which I did not watch entirely. But clearly, based on the comments, he was talking about Dave and Buster's. Kevin, you need to be careful. The SEC is not someone you want to play with, and you're not a licensed stock trader. You may be putting this out for entertainment purposes and all of those disclaimers that you talk about, but people are following you, and you could be accused of pumping and dumping stock. You buy a stock for 70,000 whatever dollars because you're rich or whatever. Then you talk about it and it goes up. You know, I don't know where the black and white rules are, but you may not want to do that. That's not okay. So in the end, be careful. Be careful, Kevin. You seem to be rotating out of stock stimulus conversations to stocks. Be careful. So in the end, remember, if you're still watching, hit that thumbs up. We're gonna test Graham Stefan's theory on if thumbs up help us. If you're still watching, hit that for me. And of course, leave questions below. We are going to do a live stream based on real estate and market discussions this Saturday at 8 o'clock. I'd love to have a series of questions in the comments so that I can prepare, and instead of just riffing nonsensically, we can start answering questions right from the jump. So I'm going to end this video so you can start putting comments below or questions that you have. Take care.